Hey everybody, it's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Petrovich. Happy Monday, everybody. It's Monday evening. It's actually a dry Monday, which is amazing considering the amount of rain we had yesterday in many locations. Man, was that a downpour. I was coming back from skiing in the mountains in West Virginia, and I drove in 5 straight hours of rain after 1 hour of snow coming out of the higher elevations. But tonight, I'm talking about cold temperatures and the maybe, kind of, possibly a few flurry chance in the morning. And I'm going to lay it out there. This is not going to be a big deal. This is not going to have an impact on the roads. There will be no school closures or delays likely anywhere except for maybe some freakish spot in South Carolina if it happens to burst right around sunrise. The bigger story here is that we might actually just see a few flakes fall from the sky. So let's start first with the temperatures because it's really cold out there. In the mountains all day, we've been stuck in the 20s, 30s across the foothills, and upper 40s in the foothills down into the Piedmont have kind of dropped back to about 40 degrees. So temperatures are cooling off tonight because we mainly have clear skies. That's kind of laying the cold air in place ahead of this system that I'm keeping an eye on down to the southwest. So let's look at the radar and satellite together. The first thing you notice tonight, we got a lot of high clouds across the area, but ooh, look down here. We've got some moisture coming up through parts of Alabama into Georgia, and this thing is flying. That's the other thing about this little disturbance. It is a really fast-moving system. I'm going to pull up on my laptop over here another observation platform to kind of see if any of those stations down there are actually reporting any of that reaching the ground right now, because I doubt a lot of areas are seeing a lot of this reach the ground just yet. So we're getting a few reports down in this area of some precipitation making it to the ground. Here it is. This system is moving from New Orleans up through southern Mississippi into Montgomery, Alabama, and unfortunately this is falling over the same area that was devastated by the tornadoes yesterday. So thoughts and prayers to all those people and victims down there. Just a horrible situation down there, just south of southeast of Montgomery, south of Auburn, and that area down in southeastern Alabama towards the Georgia line. But that's the system that I'm actually watching as it's moving to the northeast. So you can see it moving. Now, you kind of see the trajectory here, and this is really important. A lot of this is going to pass to our south. So this is going to be one of those rare cases where you have to go south to see more snow. Folks, north of Charlotte, you're not going to see anything out of this. This is going to be a non-issue it's from Charlotte south, and even Charlotte's kind of wishy-washy. In the South Carolina counties have our best chance of seeing some precipitation out of this. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. That fast-moving disturbance is going to race across the southeast. And right now, if I had to put a bet on it, I'd say we'd see a few flurries just south of the Charlotte area into the upstate of South Carolina, and maybe all the way out towards the coast, which will be interesting to see because the highest chance of snow might actually end up being in here, more so than here. Now, there could be a few flurries up here, and I'll show you why that's a possibility still, though it's not very likely because of the way this system is moving and how quickly it is. The further north you go, there's drier air and not enough forcing to kind of cause the precipitation to form. So let me show you a couple of our futurecast models here. This is our high-res rapid refresh guidance, which shows the precipitation. Now, this reruns every hour, so we get updates to this nonstop. And this is really what I kind of look at to see in the short term where things are going to kind of track here. But I'm also looking at real-time data like the radar and satellite to kind of see the orientation. So you can see about 5 o'clock in the morning, most of the precipitation is to the south, but you could see on this northern edge there could be some wintry precip, and you're starting to see a little bit showing up here. This is why it is not a big deal. I can't say this enough. This is not a big deal. People hear snow and they freak out. This would be like seeing a 5-minute rain shower in the morning. It's really not going to impact anything, but when it's snow, people freak out. In fact, I think the bigger impact on the roads will be people looking at the snow falling and freaking out and not paying attention to the road, because right around 8 a.m., and I'll zoom in, you could see where the bulk of this actually out towards our southeast looks a little more likely. This is why I said these areas might end up with their best chance of snow. There's just more precipitation there, right in that fine line there. But back here, there's our little flurry. Right around 7, 8 o'clock, there could be a few flurries around, maybe along Charlotte down to the south, but you could see it's minuscule. It's virtually nothing. So I'll widen this out as we go through the morning. By 11 a.m., it's gone. In fact, the sun will come out by lunchtime and it'll be completely dry. So let me show you another version of our model. This is a different model we run every 3 hours. Both of these are really high resolution models, and they really just kind of give you an idea in the short term about where things are going to go in the next couple hours. So there's the 4 a.m. and you can see it's in the same kind of area. The snow is a little more compressed to the south. There's still a lot of clouds here, so you can't rule out a snowflake or two, but look where the snow's lining up here. From Jackson, North Carolina, Jacksonville, all the way back down through Florence, Columbia, then back towards Augusta. And I'll advance this out, and you can see how it moves off to the southeast. So 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, kind of similar, but a subtle shift north would bring that snow closer, but a subtle shift south would completely shut out any areas. But again, look at this, completely clear to the north, no big deal up there. To the south, that's where the chances are. And here's 11 a.m., noon, sun comes out, and we have a beautiful afternoon. In fact, a reinforcing shot of cold air will come in and really cool us off as we go into the afternoon. So just a quick timing for the Charlotte area. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Rain/snow chances. It's minuscule, but we got to talk about it, because if I didn't, tomorrow people are like, hey, it's snowing, where'd it come from? But I'll tell you, impact-driven forecast is going to have zero impact on the morning commute. No road issues, nothing like that. This is just one of those novelty things where people say, hey, look, it's snowing, and I got an Instagram video for 5 seconds of snow and it's over. That's kind of what it's going to be. I think the bigger story with this is going to be behind the system as the secondary cold front comes in. It's going to get really cold around here. In fact, we've already got freeze watches up for parts of South Carolina. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to get below freezing up here. It's just that technically the growing season hasn't started in some of these counties, so the frost freeze products aren't issued. But if you're like me, you've seen everything's blooming across the area. Trees are budding. The Bradford pears are out. The fruit trees are out. In particular, the fruit trees could be really susceptible to some freeze damage, because we're going to drop into the mid to lower 20s tomorrow in these areas, teens tonight in the mountains. So areas anywhere in here that you have plants growing or fruit trees, they could get hit tomorrow and again on Wednesday night. So Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, then Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Both of those time frames, the potential for a good hard freeze could really affect the plants. And here's just a quick look at that. I'll move my face over here so it's out of the way. You could see Wednesday and Thursday morning, 24, 25. Some of the outlying areas could be even colder. So I think while the snow is kind of fun to talk about, we joke around with it, this right here, folks, is the real story. This cold, cold air after a really warm and wet February with everything blooming. This could cause some significant damage to some of the fruit trees and some of the crops around the area that have come up early. Remember, most farmers are not going to plant stuff. They know better. Trees, you can't do much. You can't cover them. So you're at the whim of Mother Nature in this case. So fruit trees, cherry, apple, peach, all got to keep an eye on those Wednesday and Thursday night for the potential for a hard freeze that could cause some significant issues. So again, just to reiterate, let me go back to the radar. This kind of tells you the story. This is what we're tracking tonight. Tonight at 11, I'll rerun all our guidance. I think a lot of this is going to stay to our south, but we'll be very close to that northern edge that you won't be shocked tomorrow if you run into a stray snowflake in the early morning hours. The time frame again, 4 or 5 a.m. to about 8, 9 a.m. Very short window. If it wasn't for the morning commute, this would probably be no big deal. If it happened at midnight to 3 a.m., everybody would sleep through it, wouldn't know it happened, wake up, no big deal. Just so happens this is coming through right around the morning hours when people are up going to work and school. Have a great night. I'll see you tonight at 11 on NBC Charlotte. And of course, if anything changes, I will constantly post on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great night, everybody.